guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and man, I appreciate you guys coming by the channel to spend some of your day with me watching the video. Big thank you from me and my family for that. Guys, today we're going to be talking about the whole, and this has been going on for a long time, the whole rumor of a professional senior bass fishing circuit starting up. It has really gone past the rumor mill, and I've been given some information to basically verify the fact that this is in the works as we talk right now. And I'm going to give you some comment on that, talk a little bit about it, sort of give my advice to the direction this thing needs to go in. So we're going to get into that in today's episode here, and definitely looking forward to getting your comments. Also, guys, before we get started, just wanted to share with you guys, if you haven't had a chance, please check out my new Blaukat Throwback Power Finesse jig from Cumberland Pro Lures. We've been working on this sucker for over a year now. A lot of you guys are familiar with my throwback jig, but the Power Finesse jig, guys, it's a downsized version of my throwback jig. It's got this frog hair living rubber on it, hand tied. And this, when you see this in the water, this frog hair, it just undulates like that, almost like something that's breathing in the water. If you get it hung up like on a log that far into water, you ought to see the tentacles on the thing. And I have been catching the fire out of them the last 2 or 3 weeks here in the Ozarks on it. 3 different sizes, like I said, hand-tied, living rubber frog hair skirt, 2-aught mustad hook in there, sharp. You can fish it 12-pound line, you can put it on a flipping stick, but awesome little jig. And we're coming up into prime finesse jig period. October, November, and December are really good times to fish it. So I'll put my Power Finesse jig link in the description of this video if you guys would like to pick up a couple of them. Appreciate that. And also, guys, thank you very much for everybody's taking time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. I really appreciate that. Okay, senior bass fishing circuit, guys, senior pro circuit. This is something I have been an advocate for this for 25 or 30 years. I have been talking about this forever, about the need to have a senior circuit and how popular it would be. I'm going to go out into a limb here, guys, and say when this takes place, when this senior circuit takes place, it will be more popular than the Bassmaster Elite Series or the MLF Bass Pro Tour, simply because of the name recognition and the notoriety of the competitors that are in it. One of the things that we have seen in the sport, especially with the advent of live scope, we have this constant influx of new anglers that nobody really knows. They don't know who they are. It's like that's the inherent problem with forward-facing sonar, is it allows people with not a lot of experience to excel at the top levels. And as a result, most people do not know who most of the Elite Series pros are. And that's not the case with the veteran anglers, like those anglers over 55. And this would be a circuit, in my opinion, for the 55 and over group, because these would be household names you're talking about. Tommy Biffle, Clunn, Denny Brower, just Jay Ellis, Skeet Reese, Van Dam, the list goes on and on and on. Superstars in the sport, household names. So when you put together a circuit that has the powerhouse name recognition with the fact that the general bass fishing public, the people that spend the most money on bass fishing tackle and have the most discretionary income are the 45 to 65-year-old group, which this would target, it's going to be great for the industry. It's going to be a well-needed boost for the sport. It is going to provide an avenue for the older anglers to get back out there. Not that they have lost the step, but it's going to allow them to showcase the real bass fishing talent and skills that have been lost through the advent of forward-facing sonar the last couple of years. So here is my advice. It's like, first of all, I get out there, talk about the rumors. I'm one of the things about being in the sport as long as I've been is I have a chance to be connected to a lot of the people within the industry. And this has moved past the rumor stage, and the fact that there are talks right now going on with some major entities in the industry to actually get the circuit off the ground. So it's gone past just the idea stage into the physical manifestation of it. And I look for something to come about probably within the next 6 months at the year at the latest on this. We'll just have to see the time frame on that. But I do know that there are actual, it's beyond just talking at this point. Here's my advice. This is the advice I want to give to the people that are considering this if they want to make it super successful. First of all, and the most obvious, no forward-facing sonar, no live scope, no spotlighting for bass, nothing like that. If I was going to set this circuit up, I would go old school, traditional, the way during that period when the sport was really great and really enthusiastic. So if I would organize this, here's the rules that I would set in place. Number one, you're only allowed one 2D sonar and GPS unit combo on your console and one up front. No side imaging, no down imaging, no forward-facing sonar on there. So that's going to be the baseline for that. And that's going to really showcase traditional bass fishing skills and their knowledge. And these guys that have this incredible detailed knowledge of seasonal patterns and movements of bass, and allow them to showcase their intellect and their intuition and their primal skills over technology. So that's going to be probably the most appealing part of this, aside from the name recognition, that they're going to be doing traditional bass fishing. You're going to see Denny Breyer pitching a jig. You see Clun throwing a square bill crankbait. You'll see David Fritz deep cranking after he, triangulated some ledge out there. You see, Dean Rojas throwing a frog. See Zell Rowland seeing a popar. All that possible scenarios laid out there. Next thing with that is the same as further into the equipment limitations. Boats would be limited to they'd have to be under 20 feet long and a maximum of 150 horsepower. Again, that takes it back to that 1985 to 1995 era when bass fishing was super, super successful and super great. You have that baseline equipment limitation. You're allowed maybe a limit of 6 to 8 rods, all that type of deal. Tournament hours will be from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening. This was something that we did when I fished the Bassmaster E50. Sorry about the little glitch there, guys. When I was showing you guys that E50 flag, I think I accidentally hit the button on the phone there, turned it off, so I went and filmed the rest of my video. It didn't even record, so I got to come back and redo it again. But anyway, guys, what I was talking about, some of those the rules that I would set for it, it would basically be to where the senior circuit is going to showcase the real bass fishing skills. So the primal, intuitive, instinctual, things that you have to develop over decades and decades of experience. Just that, one of the things about bass fishing that we've lost in the whole spotlighting era here is the intimate knowledge of bass movement and bass seasonal behaviors, because there's no quick fix for this. It's like the only way that you can really experience that is by fishing for decades and decades and see how bass react to different type of weather changes, different water level, different water temperature changes, different, hours of the day as far as the sunlight being at a different angle in the sky every month of the year. All of that stuff equates to bass movement and behavior that it's a lifetime learning process, and you never learn all of it. And that's what makes bass fishing so special, is the fact that you have to be a student of the fish to really appreciate it. And when you use forward-facing sonar and you're spotlighting for bass, you are not a student of the fish. You're a student of that electronics unit. So that's one of the big things that would have to be showcased in the senior circuit, is I don't want to say the reverting back to it, but the bringing back what made bass fishing great to begin with. And that is that whole mystery and the magic and the mystique and the unknown that, makes fishing special. And that's one of the things that the senior circuit really needs to focus in on. But anyway, guys, I will say it once again, I think it would be more successful than the Bassmaster Elite Series or the Bass Pro Tour. I just think you would have more fan interest in it, for so many different reasons, that it would sort of like be the next big deal. And I can see how, there would be even more money injected into the sport. When you have a sport that people have name recognition to, and, connections within the sport there, and then people that follow those guys, a lot of these people that own businesses, these are the dudes that they followed forever. They're probably would be a lot more willing to want to support something like that, especially if it's done right, especially if it's done, with learning all the lessons that we have over the past 5 years on the mistakes that the major tournament organizations have made, and sort of, get past that. I think it's going to be super, super successful. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it. Let me know, the direction you think that this is going to go, if it's going to happen or not. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen sooner than later. I think that it's way past due. I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand why it's taken so long. I do not understand why, the obvious has not been seen by, some of the tournament organizations to say this is a freaking, money tree right here for our organization. If we can get these guys back into the sport. And I think one of the things you're going to have to do with it is you're going to have to make it easy on it, because a lot of the pros, the older pros like myself, one of the biggest reasons that we got out of the sport or exited the sport is we're just burned out on traveling. It's like unless you have done this, like myself and a lot of guys, where you have driven all over the country year after year after year, and you spent 150 days away from home a year, you get burned out on that. And I think that having, like I said, maybe 4 tournaments, something like that, 3, maybe even 3 or 4 tournaments, and have them sort of geographical located where people didn't have to travel very far. So, some type of a centrally located type of an area. And I know that would be hard to do because we're all sort of scattered all over the country. But, that can be tweaked, and that can be, figured out as it goes along. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it. Drop some comments here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll talk later.